What's up, guys? I haven't got to do a video in a while. I've been busy. My mom's been very sick, and so I haven't had a chance to update you guys on everything I've been doing because I've been so pressed for time that I was just rushing to get stuff done whenever I could. But I'm standing here in one of my food plots. I just got it seeded the other day, and then we got about 2 inches of rain, so it's still very, very wet. And it actually had some water standing in it yesterday, but we're supposed to have more rain on the way here in about an hour, so I'm hoping that it doesn't get too wet. But anyhow, I just wanted to, I had the equipment that I use sitting here, so I just wanted to go over with you what I used this year. I got a couple new pieces of equipment, so I thought I'd just touch base with you real quick and show you them and let you know how they worked out. I did a couple reviews on that piece over there. You can check out on our YouTube page. That's the Micro Food Plots Grave Digger. It's a disc Cultipacker combo. And other than having a couple minor issues with it, the customer service, Dan over at customer service, took great care of me. Customer service was awesome. Even this piece here, this is the Earth and Turf drop spreader, stainless steel drop spreader. I had a little issue with it, and Jeb and Henry over there at Earth and Turf Products took care of me, and so for both, customer service has been totally awesome. So, but anyhow, the grave digger I got back in like late March, so I used it to till up and put in my buckwheat in the spring, and take care of the old Egyptian wheat screening and everything I had planted from last year. And I got photos and videos, like I said, on my Facebook page or Inception TV page. I did the reviews on our YouTube channel, and that thing is just, it works great, and it's especially awesome for these little wood plots like this, being that it's so compact. It's only 4 foot wide. So you can get it into these tighter spaces here, and you know, you got the cultipacker and the disc and everything right there. It works fantastic. So overall, really impressed with that machine. It works great. Like I said, customer service was awesome. And so if you want to go check them out, microfoodplots.com. They got the disc cultipacker combo. They have other units that have the planters and the drag and everything on them like that. So it's just a matter of what you want to spend and what you want. So that's what I used over there to till up all my plots and cultipack the seed and everything like that. So that's the Micro Food Plots Grave Digger. This here, like I said, this is the stainless steel version. It's a drop spreader from Earth and Turf Products. It's got a nice lid on it. It holds a little over 500 pounds. It's nice and built, nice and sturdy. It's got 15 settings on it for whatever you're planting. You just put it on whatever setting you want it to go on. Pretty much my soybeans, I used it on setting 1. I think my buckwheat, I used it on setting 2. Other than that, it's very well built. It's got the latches for the top if you want to latch it. It's got a nice thing in here that tells you about seed rating for different fertilizer and lime and stuff like that. Really, that's what I got it for, is I wanted something I could put some lime down, powdered lime, be a little bit cheaper. I think that's going to be the ticket. I'll use it for the lime next year. I already had the lime put down for this year, but nice sturdy machine. It's got an extendable hitch. All you got to do is pop that pin out right there, and it'll extend a little bit further. So depending on what you're using to pull it or whatever, you can adjust the hitch on it. It's got you got the option. It comes with an agitator that keeps your seed flowing or your lime flowing, but then it's got an option where you can get a second one. So I got the second agitator, so it was on both sides. so to keep everything moving so it doesn't get stuck and everything comes out even. But there again, like I said, other than a little minor issue with the making a noise when I was putting down some winter peas and stuff, Jeb Frem and Henry over at Earth and Turf Products, I mean, they got a hold of me right away when I sent them the video and stuff of what was happening, and they worked with me, and top-notch customer service for both products. But, that's what I use to till up my plots. This is what I used to seed them this year. Put my fertilizer all down, and then I use that for the cultipacker. And then this is just a DR drag. I've had it now for a couple of years. Actually, before I got the disc and stuff like that, this is all I used. I just drug everything. I put some logs on it for extra weight, drug everything to tear the ground up, sprayed, and I was good to go. But this is just a DR power drag. It's got 2 connections. I think they're 2-foot connections, which makes it 4 feet. But it's got the spikes on it, so if you turn it over, it digs up the ground, and then when you're just dragging seed in and stuff, you just flip it over and it just drags it. So, but these are the 3 pieces of equipment I use, so from start to finish. The only other thing is my Fimco sprayer that sits on the back of my Polaris. That's what I use to spray. It's a 65-gallon, 7-foot long boom sprayer, and that's what I use. So I just wanted to take a minute, and like I said, I had all this sitting here in a row because I just finished the other night, so I just wanted to take a minute and go over while it was all sitting here what I use, how it worked, and you know what the companies are like when you're dealing with them. So I think I said back a couple times when I did the Gravedigger reviews in the spring, you know, they're costly. I mean, even the spreader, it's costly too, but like me, I can't get nobody to get into where I'm at here to do, like, spread any lime or anything like that. And of course you can't do the ag lime and stuff through just a basic spreader, so I had to get it to do my lime because I got a 7-acre field right out here that I can't get nothing into, so it's gonna be worth its weight in gold when I start doing that next fall, or next winter, I mean, so I can get that down. But like I said, Micro Food Plots Gravedigger, the Earth and Turf Products, stainless steel spreader. Like, you can get these in different sizes too. They got 4-foot, I think they even got a 3-foot, they got a 6-foot, so it's all on what you want. And so Earth and Turf Products, I think it's just earthandturfproducts.com, microfoodplots.com. Give them a check out if you're interested. Like I said, customer service is great. So I'm going to try to get some of this stuff back out of here now that everything dried out a little bit before we get our next rain. So anyhow, hope you enjoyed it. Just wanted to share with you a little bit, give you a little update. I'm also going to, I got Egyptian wheat in my plots. I know everybody says that you got to have full sun and everything for doing screening and stuff like that, but this is my 20th year of doing food plots, and I've done screening in my food plots for years. I mean, as long as you have, you know, a good pH level and stuff like that, you can get away with getting a screening in these little wood plots like this too. It doesn't have to be out in a full field of sun and everything. So I use mine basically for areas that if I'm going to be walking, I can sort of walk around the plot and get into my blinds, but mostly it's for my blinds. I tuck my blinds in right behind the screening, and then I'll come in probably, I usually put my blinds in the middle of September, end of September, somewhere around there, and I'll bring my weed whacker in and just cut my areas I want to see out into. But mostly I do the screening in these wood plots for just to cover my blind, cover my access getting into the blind. But don't let anybody tell you you can't do this in the woods. You have to be full blown in a field, something like that. But I'll show you some pictures and stuff of the Egyptian wheat that I use in these wood plots. And then I'm going to use the Egyptian wheat in here, and then I use the Northwoods 8 heavy duty screening out in my field. So I'm going to show you what makes it the difference. The Egyptian wheat's real thin stalk, and then the heavy duty screening from Northwoods whitetails, it's really thick. So I use it out in my field so that the wind doesn't just knock it over and everything. But I'll show you a side-by-side comparison of the actual thickness in the screenings, and you'll get a better idea why I use it out there. The wind and stuff in my plots here, like I said, there's very little sun that gets in here. This is probably only an 1/8 to a 1/10 acre of a plot as it is. But the wind doesn't come through here to knock it all down and stuff like it would out in the field. So you can get away with just using the Egyptian wheat and stuff here. So, anyhow, that's it for now. Like I said, I'll do the comparison with the Egyptian wheat and heavy duty screening, and I'll tie it into this video and go from there. But thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting Inception TV. Appreciate you guys. Okay guys, I just showed you my equipment over there, and I told you I was going to show you my Egyptian wheat that I grow in my wood plots. Like I said, this is only about an 1/8 of an acre, maybe a 1/10 tops. And I set my blind up right over here. So we come down the field's out here, and I walk around here and slip right down into my blind. And I use this to pretty much just cover the blind. Like I said, I'll come in and, right a couple weeks before I know I'm going to start hunting, and I'll just trim this back for my shooting range. But you can see, it's as tall as I am. It's still got a good month to grow. I put my screening in a little bit later, so I know most guys jump on it around May. I usually don't put mine in until July, because I like the soil to already be warm, because this stuff loves the warm temperatures in the soil. So I usually wait until the soil's up, over 70 degrees consistently. Usually around July 4th, that's when I plant my screenings. So as you can see, it's already as tall as me. It's still got a month to go. If a couple weeks, if I don't notice it getting higher, I'll shoot some urea on it. I haven't put no fertilizer or nothing on it, but I'll do that. But yeah, like I said, there's very little sun that gets in here. I don't know if you can see here, this is where the water was standing in the plot yesterday. So I mean, there's very little sun that gets in here. It's definitely not full sun or anything like that, but you can still grow this stuff enough to use as a screen. Or like I said, if you want to tuck your blinds in, it's better than having to cut down a bunch of wood and stuff like that. It's a lot easier. You can either come in and just trim it with a weed whacker, just the tops, or whatever you want to do, however you want to do it. But it's a lot easier than having to cut down a bunch of woods and trees and everything to block your blinds. So. But don't let anybody, tell you you can't do this in the woods, because like I said, this is my 20th year doing food plots, and I've been doing this now for a while. And every year I have my woods, outlined in some Egyptian wheat. So this is just one plot. I'll show you more. Alright guys, this is the second plot here. You can see I got my Egyptian wheat screened off here. I actually put the blind right here. I have a trail that comes from where I parked the Ranger at. I walk all the way down and I come in around in the back here. And right around there I'll put my blind right up around the tree back here. And then, like I said, I'll cut out my lanes in my Egyptian wheat here so I can see up into the plot. This is the plot that I actually killed Droopy out of last year. He was coming out this trail and walking through the Egyptian weed into the plot. But as you can see, I got a little more growth over here than the last one that I showed you. It's already up a good 2.5 feet over my head. Maybe it gets might get a little bit more sun over here than the other one, but not a whole lot. Like I said, this is just another little 8-acre plot that, like I said, I use this screening, and then, like I said, I mean, even though it's in the woods, it keeps it from falling over when the wind gets bad or whatever, because, you know, it's full woods, so I mean, the wind blocks it all. It doesn't get near as bad as if you was in the wide open. So this is just another, like I said, just shows you can do this in the woods. You can get good height out of it. There again, I didn't even plant this in, you know, late May or June. I didn't plant it until July 4th. So you can get plenty of height. I haven't put no urea on it, no triple 19, no fertilizers at all. I mean, I fertilized my plots to what the soil tests say. So it's been done like that, and then I just do the, you know, the outside where I want to put my blinds or whatever. And, you know, you can get plenty of height. So this is just another one that I did. So I hope you guys are getting a good look at this. And, you know, I started this, like I said, a lot of guys you hear, you know, can't get it to grow and they need full sun, and, you know, everybody has their own opinions and stuff like that. But, you know, like I said, I've been doing food plots now for 20 years anyhow, and some things you just have to try on your own and see what works and what doesn't, because, you know, all woods are different. I mean, I can do this here and 100 yards, it might not do, you know, do as well as it does. So I mean, you just have to try stuff and go see what happens and try to see if you can make it better somehow, or if you can't, then okay, you can't. But, you know, like I said, I started doing this because I got tired of having to cut up all the branches and stuff to do my blinds, and now I'll just do a mixture. I'll come in, and where I have extra stuff that I know I don't need, I'll just come in and cut it, and I'll put it on my blind, and then I'll at least have, you know, this Egyptian wheat, it turns brown when it dies, and I'll at least have the brown all on the front of my blind, you know, and then I'll mix in some branches and stuff like that. It just makes it a lot easier. And plus, if you set your blind back in, or even like I do here, because this is only about a 5-foot deep screening, set your blind behind there, and then just, you know, make little lanes or get zip ties and tie them together so that you'll have lanes. Then you're sitting back behind it, so when the deer come out and your plot and stuff, they're not looking right at your blind, even if you would have it all branched up and everything like that. I mean, you got this screening in front, and then your blind's, you know, a good 5-10 feet behind that even. So it just all works out a lot better, and I started doing that a long time ago. So, but just trying to give you guys an idea, you know, because 9 out of 10 times you'll never see anybody plant this stuff in the woods. I'm the only one that I ever seen that did it. So, and this is actually my first video about it. Pretty much not because I didn't want to help people, but, you know, like I said, there's a lot of people out there now that are so-called experts and stuff, and I just didn't want to, you know, people jumping down my throat, hey, you know, that's not the best way to do it. You can put miscanthus grass, or you can do this and do that. I mean, like I said, everybody's got their own opinion of what works and everything, and I'm not here to push my opinions on you. I mean, this is what I do. This is what works for me. It's inexpensive. You get a little bit of Egyptian wheat seed. You just throw it down. Like I said, you can cover your access into your blind if you know, this helps you hunt a little plot like this without having to sit right on top of it. Like I said, you got an area where you can slip in, have this screening 5-10 feet even, and then sit your blind behind it, and you got good access, you can hunt this blind, you know, as many times as you want. As long as the wind direction's right, I can come in and I can hunt this blind. I don't have to worry about my access or anything like that. I can get in, they're not going to see me get in, and even though it's right on top of the blind here, I got a good in and out access that I don't have to worry, you know. If there's no deer in here, I don't have to worry about it. I just slip right out and I'm good to go. So, like I said, I'm not here to push my opinions or anything on you. I'm not here to argue with other people that, you know, are in the business or anything like that. 20 years experience, I'm just trying to show you what I do and what works for me. And my biggest thing I want you to get out of it is don't be afraid to try something. Don't be afraid to say, so-and-so says, you know, this doesn't work, so I better do it this way. Try it. The worst you can do is fail. And if you fail, then you know not to do it again. But anyhow, like I said, I hope you're getting something out of it. So this is what we try to do, try to teach, you know, we try to share our hunts and stuff with everybody, but we also try to teach what works for us as well. So I hope you're getting something out of it. Alright guys, this is my heavy duty screening from Northwoods Whitetails. You can see it's up probably a good 7 feet, possibly 8. I'd say more towards 8. This here again was planted in July 4th, around that time. So I gave this one a shot of urea just the other day too. But you can see it's looking pretty good. And I will probably have a blind sitting right in here, tucked in. Like I said, I got my field here. So I'll probably be tucking a blind in here watching this field. But one of the things I want to show you is like I said, I want to show you the difference between this heavy duty screening and the Egyptian wheat screening. So I got a piece of Egyptian wheat. This stuff isn't even, you know, it's not full yet. It's not as high as it's going to get. It's not as thick as it's going to get. You still got, like I said, today's August 14th, so still got a good month or so of growth. But you can see this was Egyptian wheat that I pulled out of over there. You can just see the difference in the leaves. The heavy duty screening, the leaves are much wider. I mean, they're almost double what the Egyptian wheat is. I'll bring the camera over and show you a little bit here. But like I said, this isn't even at full growth yet, so I mean, they're going to get a lot bigger. But just a side-by-side comparison on the stalk difference too. The stalk thickness of this heavy duty screening is twice the size of this Egyptian wheat. So like I said, this stuff here is going to blow in any wind. It's going to blow over, especially out here in like a field setting. But this stuff here has got nice thick, like I said, it's double what this Egyptian wheat is. So it's going to take it a lot more to bend over and break than this Egyptian wheat will. But I'll grab the camera here and try to give you a better look at what I'm talking about here. And like I said, this isn't even as thick as it's going to get yet. So keep that in mind. You can see how thick the stalk is there on this heavy duty screening, and then compared to the Egyptian wheat, you can see it's double to triple in size than what this Egyptian wheat is. So makes it a lot sturdier. I don't know if I'll be able to show you here, but you can see the roots here on this Egyptian wheat. I mean, it's just, you know, it's kind of flimsy. There's not a whole lot there. but I'll try to show you the difference in the roots that are in the ground here for the heavy duty screening. Bear with me here. See how thick the root system is? Like I said, I know it's probably hard to see, but a lot thicker root system and everything in the ground for that heavy duty screening than there is for this little thing of the Egyptian wheat. I mean, just that root system right there, I mean, it's 3 times the size of the root system as this Egyptian wheat. So that's going to make it nice whenever you go to cut and till this heavy duty screening back into the soil too. I mean, it's gonna do pretty well. So, but it's kind of hard for me to run this camera by myself and hard to make sure I got everything in the frame and everything, but I hope you guys were able to see that and able to see the difference, because there is a difference in what you plant. I mean, that Egyptian wheat, fine. I mean, like I said, especially I use it in my wood plots and stuff, because like I said, the wind isn't going to get through there. But this wide open field here, this heavy duty screening is a lot better, because even if it bends, it's not going to bust like, you know, the Egyptian wheat will. You know, the Egyptian wheat is laid all the way over and then eventually picked itself back up, you know, if we had a bad storm or something. But, you know, like I showed you, just the root system alone and the stalk thickness, I mean, this stuff's sturdy. I mean, it's like corn. I mean, it's sturdy. So, there again, you'll pay a little bit more for it, but then again, it's worth it. So, John Comp does a pretty good job getting this stuff every year. You know, he doesn't run out. So, give them a look at Northwoods Whitetail, and John Comp, he runs that company. So, give him a look. NorthwoodsWhitetail.com. And don't be afraid to give it a try. It's well worth it. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got a little something out of it. Whether it's from the equipment reviews, going and checking them out. Maybe you're in the market for something like that for next year. Or if putting Egyptian wheat inside and around your wood plots, if you need something to block, you know, deer movement off, or just to use to hide your blinds, or if you got something out of, you know, the difference between just the Egyptian wheat seed compared to the John Comp's Northwoods Whitetail heavy duty screening. So hopefully you got something out of it, something you can use in the future, or something you know, just willing to maybe try later on down the road or something. But that's going to do it for now. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching Inception TV.